congratulations to Duke. This game, 3 of the last 5 years, has come down to the last play of the game, and that's what you get, so you expect out of these two teams. And we've come up on the upper end of those for 3 times and didn't tonight. And we had a 17-point lead at halftime. I thought we played a really good first half. We were still inconsistent offensively. They're really good on defense. They were leading the nation in sacks and tackles for loss, so we understood that coming into the game. So we had trouble getting Omari on the normal runs and yardage that he gets. Still gained over 100 yards as you look at it here. But then the second half, we had a struggling drive with a couple of big plays to start the second half, which really bothered me. I thought we'd come out and take over the game, which we should have, to start the third quarter, and we didn't. And then we have a 4th and 1 where we're going to make it. We've already made it, and they call holding on us. So we get taken back and have to kick a field goal. So that cost us 4 points. Then you start looking at, for whatever reason, and Jones, Angel just asked me, why did we tackle the first half and not the second half? I don't know. I wish I could answer that. I'll be able to answer it more when I sit and look, but they didn't run. I think they had 37 yards first half rushing, and gosh, ended up with 185. So it changed the game completely. And I thought we'd still win the game. I thought, like all the others, I thought when they didn't go for the 4th and 2, I was hoping they'd go for it and not make it. If they made it, the game was over. But obviously they trusted their defense, and it was the right move by Coach Diaz, and they stopped us. But even with the throw to Bryson Nesbitt down the sideline, if we hit that, we're going to kick a field goal to have a chance to win the game. So it's that kind of game. The thing I did tell the players, unlike last week, I thought they gave it everything they had, and they tried. And this was a great college football game that we came up short on. So I'm proud of their effort. We'll just have to go back and look at everything tomorrow, because Pittsburgh's really good, and they're coming in here next week, and they'll be, I think, what are they, undefeated? Yeah. I think so. So it'll be another undefeated team.
Coach, I missed the first part, but what went wrong defensively in the second half? Where was maybe the biggest problem that led to everything else?
Andrew, we really didn't play well on either side the second half. And when you don't play well on offense, you don't keep the ball. I looked up that when we did have the drive right after the halftime, there was 9 minutes left in the third quarter, so I felt pretty good. I thought that we got a chance because we at least got some points, but we had a holding penalty because that should have been a touchdown, and we had just made a first down inside the 5. So I don't know. We stopped the run completely. We were doing the same stuff the second half, and we didn't tackle him as well. So I don't know. We'll have to go back and look at it. I thought they tried. Thought everybody was into the game. Everybody knew how important the game was, and everybody knows how important this game is to us, our university, and our fan base. So it wasn't that they didn't try. I'm really proud of their effort. But you look at it, we were 5 for 18 on third down, and they were 2 for 14. So it was more of a defensive game than an offensive game. They rushed for 185 yards. We rushed for 156, and they rushed for 37 the first half. So their ability to run the ball the second half was what changed the game.
Mack, did you detect at 20-0, any kind of let up at all in
No.
that point of the game or not?
No, I really didn't, and I thought they tried. I mean, we just didn't tackle as well the second half. So I don't know, Chip. I really can't answer it.
Coach, this week they were going on that scoring run. Obviously, the offense, kind of stalled out at points. I know you haven't had a chance to look at it, but is there anything particular you kind of point to as to why drives couldn't last longer and sustain?
I thought their ability to run the ball in the second half and our inability to run the ball was what changed the game, because we had our runs in the first half, and they are really good at being disruptive. They were first in the country in sacks, second in the country in tackles for loss, and that's what they do. And they're quick up front, and we had trouble which was what we were concerned about. We had trouble consistently running the ball and protecting in the second half.
Coach, a lot of emotion from just the players coming off of the field. Please, if you could just describe how are they feeling just in the locker room? We were just speaking.
Oh, it's awful. I mean, you fight your guts out. And, unlike last week, and they fought their guts out. I thought they gave every ounce they could. They had a great week's practice, and I told them this is the way Duke's felt on the 3 that we won in the last second or the double overtime. So give them credit. I mean, great college football game that came down to one play, and right at the end, one drive, and they made the the play, and we didn't.
How'd you feel like Jacoby played tonight?
I'll have to go back and look at it. His stats were good. They change up so much, and they blitz so much, and they bring the safety so much, and it's a load for a new quarterback. I thought both of these quarterbacks are really talented, and neither one had played in a game of this magnitude. And both of them struggled at times with just the stuff. And each one of them are going to get better every week.
And some penalties really hurt you.
Penalties hurt us again.
Points of the game, seemed like.
It did. We're first and goal at the 2 and have 2 penalties. And then we end up, but it killed us when JJ got they said he threw the defensive back down. They were all together, and he did one of those, and they're going to call that now. And then we had holding. That killed us. That was a drive that we could have come back and won the game, and it just took us out of any chance to take the ball down and score at that time. And we still had a chance at the end. I thought, again, with a minute 37 left, we've been able to score in those situations, and I still thought we would.
Going back to Jacoby, was it just a matter he couldn't go through his progressions much because of the constant pressure?
I think we'll have to look at all of it. I mean, you saw the same game I saw. There was a lot of pressure on him.
Matt, after last week, the noise around you is probably going to intensify. What do you say to people who might be losing faith or just might have questions about you and the direction?
I say that go to the Pittsburgh game next week and really support these kids. They're great kids that work their rear ends off to do the best that they can do. Everybody in the country that loses a football game has noise. I mean, so I don't worry about the noise.
Mac, how do you, I guess, following on last week and obviously the close loss today, kind of keep the frustration from mounting, spilling, because obviously there's a long season to remain. How do you kind of keep the, I guess, frustrations players may be feeling from mounting for the rest of the
Told the players that I knew how disappointed they were, but I was proud of them, that they fought their guts out. And I said, all I ask you to do all week and all I ask you to do in the ball game was give us the best that you could. And I thought they did that. And there's lessons to be learned. These are life's lessons. We all learn them every day, and that's what college football is really about. And like I said, Duke has had the worst of this for 5 straight years. So I told our players, you got to appreciate the 5 that you got and get back to work. I said there will be people that are critical of you. What's going to help you win the game next week? That's all you got to worry about. Does it help us win? If it doesn't, stay off social media. If some of your buddies are rude to you, they're not your buddies. So I don't look at anything. I go back to work. That's what I'll do tonight. As soon as I get home, I'll turn this on and try to figure out what we got to do to have a chance next week.
Is it more difficult to pick them up after this kind of loss or something like last week? Or is there a difference?
I know. Well, this is a bad one because we've won 5 straight, and they know how important this is to our fan base. And but in any loss, you just play 12 times. It's not like basketball and baseball. You got a bunch of games, so if you lose one, you can go back and get you another one. This one, they all hurt.
On that last drive of the game, what did you kind of see going wrong, or just maybe how were you feeling in that one?
We had chances. In those kind of drives, you got to get the first down to get it going. When you do, they backed off. They weren't blitzing. They were nervous. We had to get down to the 35, and we had a wheel route that was open, and we just threw it over Bryson's head. If he catches that ball, we're going to have a chance at a last-second field goal, and that's how close the game really came down to.
And with Jacoby unfortunately throwing that interception, is he the type of guy to just get really down about that, or is he just to keep his head down?
He's just really inexperienced, so he'll have to learn from this and go forward. And the biggest thing is we've got young tackles, and we haven't been a 1-minute team like we have been in the past because we didn't protect. And really, I think Jacoby got hit on the last play, so he didn't really throw the interception. He got hit releasing the ball, so we got to protect him better.
Were they more physical on the line in the second half or south of the ball?
I don't know. It's a good point. I thought they made more plays, but we just didn't run the ball as well. So I don't know. And part of that was, they were running the ball, and when running the ball has become so huge in college football, especially with the shorter games, number of possessions, and they kept the ball away from us a lot the second half. And when you're doing that, then they get fresh. I thought at one point right before the half, we had them on the run, and they were out there a lot, and they were tired, and then we let them off the hook in the third quarter.
How do you coach
dealing with in-game adversity. I feel like that's been a theme last week, and then this game as well as, Duke kind of got momentum.
You got those iPads now, and you sit and show them the iPad. And Jeff had a setup where all of the defensive players sat together right when they came off the field. He could take the iPad and show them exactly what happened and what we felt like we should change and how we changed it. And, you talk about kids, they could have given up there on the last drive, and they stopped them. I mean, the defense, as much as they struggled in the second half, stopped them and forced them to punt, or the game's over. I told them, they make a 4th and 2, the game's over. And then they didn't go for it, but they actually stopped them and gave us a chance to win the game.
Mack, I got in here late, so if you address it, I'll apologize. What did you see as the biggest symptoms of the way things changed from first half to second half? You shut them out in the first half, you have a 20-point lead, and then it all
Right.
goes away.
Yeah, I've already answered that, so your buddies can help you with that.
You said you let them off the hook. What was the mood at halftime? What was the feeling?
It's good. I mean, they felt like we'd played a great first half, and I said we got to turn field goals into touchdowns. We can't do that. We've got to score when we come back out the second half, and we did that. And then you could tell the momentum started changing, and we never turned it back.
You guys good?
Thank you.